Thank you for taking a few moments to view our Coffee with Manitou session from August 20th, 2014. This video is part 7. In this video, Josh Tafoya briefly explains the Escalate command and ends with an overall recap.
There's one more I want to talk about, although the situations where this is going to be used are very, very far and few and far between, is the Escalate command. The Escalate command can actually create an entirely new alarm based on this alarm. You obviously have to have a compelling reason for the system to want to generate a new alarm, and that's going to be in most complicated, well thought out action patterns. That one is going to be more of a situation, rather than trying to cover it with everybody here, it's going to be the kind of situation where if you have a thing where you think that the Escalate command will be needed, then ask us and we'll be happy to talk to you about it. But if you have a scenario where an alarm comes in and for some reason, somewhere in the action pattern, you want it to create a new alarm separate from this one, it can be either this customer or a different customer. We can force it to close the original alarm or keep the original alarm open. If you have a scenario where you need to do that, then we can go through. I mean, it doesn't take very long to look at your scenario and say, yes, this is how you would create that external alarm. But I could come up with fake scenarios all day, and everybody that I talk to is going to go, no, we'll never do that. So if you have those kind of scenarios, you're going to want to talk to us specifically about the use of the Escalate command. But I have yet to use that, even in the situations where I thought it was going to be necessary. I have yet to use the Escalate command for that. So that's the action patterns that are far beyond either the call list or the typical contact stuff that everybody is used to seeing. I hope that answers anybody's questions, or at least prompts some questions that you guys may be able to think, well, how can we use those to do this, to do whatever scenario that we want to try. And here's what I encourage you to do on any of these. We've done all these on the monitoring company level. Of course, I would not recommend starting at the monitoring company level. I would recommend starting on the customer level. Make your action patterns at the customer level. Try them out and make sure that they work the way that you want them to work. Ideally, you're doing it on a controlled system, on a test system, because you don't want to sell this to somebody and say, hey, we can do all this fancy new stuff with our action patterns, and let's do a really complicated one for you, and not try it out first. So make sure you test it before you sell it to anybody. But if you guys get into any confusing situations there, it's usually a very, very brief call where somebody asks me, well, I tried to do this, but it gives me this other thing. Usually it's 5 or 10 minutes on the phone. So if you guys have something like that, obviously feel free to give me a call, and that's obviously for the times where I'm available in the office.
This concludes part 7 of the Coffee with Manitou session. Register today for next month's session at bullgroup.com and check out any upcoming videos on our YouTube page. For more information, contact your account manager today at sales@bullgroup.com.